You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast. The hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hey, folks, it's Voss here from theChrisVossShow.com. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. There are ladies and that makes it official. Welcome to 16 years of the Chris Voss Show, 27 episodes, and we just keep making 48 new shows a month for you guys to listen to enjoy, to get smarter, to use your brains. The brains! Damn it, we don't have stuff on the show that wrecks your brain, except, I don't know, listen to my lame jokes. That might be damaging to some people's IQ. But go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, linkedin.com/Chris Voss, facebook.com/Chris Voss, and youtube.com/Chris Voss. All the places all over the internet. Today we have an amazing young man on the show. We're going to be talking about his journey, and he's done quite well from a very young age in rock and rolling and kicking ass and taking names and all that good stuff. So we're going to get into his entrepreneurial journey, find out what that's about, and all that good stuff. John Magnor joins us on the show with us today. He is a 20. I'm sorry, what?
No, I was just saying, yes, sir. Thanks for the introduction.
There you go. He is on the show, as you can tell. He is a 24-year-old entrepreneur, mainly focusing on building and scaling B2B companies with a software or a service provider. He's been in the game for about 8 years. He started when he was 16, and for the last couple of years, he's been devoted to scaling business-to-business companies. His goal is to build out a portfolio of these companies, specifically software companies, to scale. He mainly focuses on growing these companies through building sales teams, streamlining those processes, as well as building marketing systems. Welcome to the show, John. How are you?
Appreciate it. Thank you. I'm out here in Buenos Aires, so I've been traveling for the past 6 months now. So it's been good. Haven't been to the States in a while, so it's pretty crazy.
There you go. Buenos Aires. That sounds like, that sounds insufferable. Just having to deal with probably, I don't know, beautiful weather and beautiful scenery, maybe.
Beautiful weather, beautiful women. It's not too bad.
Oh, yeah. You're suffering. I hope you come home soon, because you can't have that much enjoyment. So, John, give us any .coms, any social media websites, wherever you want people to find out more about you on the interwebs.
Yeah, definitely. So on Instagram and YouTube, I am. It's at John P. Mag. So JOHN Mag. Mainly pushing a lot of content out on YouTube just because I like the long form. I try to stay off the short form as much as possible, just with the brain rot stuff, but kind of got to do it. So
yeah, it's that short form stuff. I hate that, because I like long form. Like you say, that short form, we have so many great conversations on the Chris Voss Show, and a lot of times you can really take them out of context if you just short form. Like, what the fuck were they going on about?
Yeah, so, exactly.
Give us a 30,000 overview of your company and what you guys do. Give us the title of the company. I'm not sure that I quoted that when I was reading the bio.
Yeah, so I have a holding company, so it's Magnor Equity Partners. Obviously, Magnor is my last name. So essentially what I'm doing is my whole focus is I like coming in with companies that they have a great product, and maybe they're just looking to scale, whether that's through just building out better marketing systems or really just building out a sales team. There's a lot of good, software companies out there where the founder is very, very technical, but he doesn't know how to really grow it, how to get business, how to close those deals. So essentially what I do is I partner up with companies, whether that's consulting, do work upfront, work with them one-on-one. And then my main goal on the back end is to bring them into my portfolio to where I have equity, and then grow them into, a business that can ultimately sell to private equity. So
there you go. What's the sort of minimum if I'm out there, I'm looking for investors, a B2B company? What's sort of how do I know that maybe you might be or I might be a fit for you to invest in?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, great question. So the biggest thing is, so I have two parts. Number one is obviously I have to believe in the product. I work with a lot of software companies, so where I was saying, the guy has a really, really great product. So that's number one. Number two, the numbers obviously have to make sense. That's kind of why I rolled out the consulting company, because a lot of people come to me and they may not be ready for me to come in and take equity in their company. So I would say minimum for me to take equity in the company, you'd have to be doing low six figures in revenue a month.
Oh, wow. You mean I can't be like Twitter? I can just be negative for like 20 years?
Well, I mean, if there's a crazy potential and there's a crazy founder like that, possibly, but
crazy unicornish, potentialish, dealish
exactly.
sort of thing. Is there a max number of amount you are looking to invest in, or is like a cap, or if I'm looking for $100 million or
yeah, well, that's the thing. Say right now, a lot of the things that we're doing is we're doing sweat equity deals.
Okay.
So the biggest thing for me is, and I will invest in these companies. But a big thing is off the bat, especially if I'm building a new relationship with these guys, it's like, hey, I'm going to come in with my entire team. So a big thing is for me is recruiting and human capital. So coming in with, sales reps, a whole new sales infrastructure, and then building out the marketing. Once I see that, hey, this is very, very profitable and this can scale, that's when we have a conversation about, me possibly investing and going.
There you go. So you get a chance to get in, look around, see what things do, and maybe you can consult with them and help them get up to that level then.
Exactly. Yep.
There you go. Really smart there, because, then you're helping develop your own stuff. So talk to us about this. I believe you started the company when you were 19. Tell us about your entrepreneurial journey. What got you into this business? What was the influences that got you into this business? 16, I believe, actually.
Yeah. So I haven't, Magnor Equity Partners hasn't been together since I was 16, but I've been doing online sales and marketing, just kind of as a contractor working with different businesses since I was 16.
What got you into that? What motivated you? Because most people at 16 are chasing girls at the prom, doing, I don't know, racing cars or something, or I don't know. What motivated you? What were some of your influences? Was there parental entrepreneurs or anything like that?
Yeah. So my dad's an entrepreneur. He's more in the manufacturing space. My biggest thing was, I just didn't want to be normal. I kind of just, it was mainly purely profit, but I think, after a while you start to learn the game, love the game once you get good at it. So that's the biggest thing. But, I had bills to pay, I had to, some bills, as much as bills as you have it when you're 16, but, I didn't want to be just a normal 16-year-old and kind of, do that lifestyle.
There you go. I love what you're doing. I started my first company at 18 by accident. There really wasn't like an entrepreneurial influences that I had. Although I guess my dad was entrepreneurial. Yeah, he was. So yeah. But And I tell young people, I'm like, lay a foundation for the future of your life now. I remember turning to my business partner when we started our first multimillion-dollar company at 22. And I said to him, I says, okay, should we do this? And he's like, I don't know, man. And I'm like, okay, we got two paths we can go on. We can do the normal thing where we go to work for a company. Hopefully we rise through the ranks. Hopefully we get a golden parachute, maybe. And then at 50 or 55, we leave the company with a golden parachute, and then we go start our own companies. Or we can do it now while we're young and we have this sweet ass energy.
Exactly.
And we can work 18 hours a day. And I told him, I says, because I got to tell you, at 50, even if we make that sort of level, I don't know that I got the energy for this shit. And he's like, oh, let's go for it. And boy, am I right, because I'm 50s now. I don't have the 18-hour days we used to keep, the energy we used to live on Monster energy drinks. So I think it's great that you're laying a foundation for this now, because it just creates a great pathway for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And once you learn sales too, sales and marketing seems like a feature that you really focus on. I told my nephew and other young people, I'm like, learn sales. If you know sales, you can go to work anywhere, especially if you're good.
100%.
If you're not good, maybe go to McDonald's. But no, you can get good. I got good. I sucked at it. So,
right. Yeah. I get a lot of people reaching out to me trying to figure out, like, maybe they just graduated college or graduated high school and they don't want to do the college thing and they're trying to figure it all out. It's like there's so much information out there. Maybe they could do crypto. Maybe there's a bunch of different business models, but it's like, hey, at the end of the day, the most wealthy people in the world are buying and selling businesses. Business is all about marketing and sales. So you got to learn those fundamentals and then go out and do it on your own. So
once you can learn how to sell that widget, it's all widgets, really.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what's the product? It's a widget. Okay. And then, like you talk about, that was one of the great last lessons I got from the last CEO I worked with when I was a kid was he was learning to make a widget in the smallest, cheapest amount of format, with a lot of sweat equity, and make that widget and then figure out how it can function and work, and then the profit margins and how you can make that work. And then once you can make that ideal, then you just scale like you've been talking about. Exactly. And it's really as simple as that. Like you say, it's a game. After dozens of companies I've owned, it's a game. I could do it in my sleep now. I could start a company.
100%. I always say, it's the best. Business is the best sport. It's like boxers maybe have 2 to 3 years. Football players maybe have 10 to 15 years. But business, it's like you can do this until you kick the grave. So that's kind of how I look at it.
That's how I look at it too. I can't ever imagine retiring. I've often my favorite quote is from Warren Buffett: "I'll retire 7 years after I die."
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Hey, if you want to retire and relax and cruise and go out in your garden, good for you. That's your thing. But for me, I just love tinkering with business. I love the problem solving. Trying to figure it out. And that's really key. But yeah, you're right. If you can learn the sales and marketing, what is when you're meeting with people in today's environment now, how important is like AI? Are you starting to target more AI? AI is becoming that thing, if it's not already, actually.
Yeah, 100%. AI is the biggest thing. If you're not using it, it's like, okay, you're already behind.
You're a Luddite.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of the companies that I work with, it's like they're AI SaaS companies. Every company now, is using AI. A big thing too is, with sales and marketing and just growing your company, it's never been this easy just with AI, all the tools that you have, and just, so that's the biggest thing. And a big thing too is honestly, just getting better at sales has never been easier because we have so many different AI tools that can tell you, what to say, AI trainers, things like that. So AI definitely plays a pivotal role. And I'm not even like a big tech guy either. I'm sure there's people out there that are utilizing AI way better than I am, but I try to work on that every day. The one downside is, sometimes I use ChatGPT a little too much, and I feel like I'm almost getting dumber just because I'm relying on it. But
yeah, there's kind of that thing, it used to be like, I knew how to write really well. In fact, when I was in 4th grade in California, they taught us calligraphy. And, with the ink, you dip the ink. And it was kind of that old world sort of writing method of you dip the ink and you write your stuff and dip the ink. And then there's a beautiful sort of handwriting to it, a beautiful style, if you will, to it. And I thought it was really cool and elegant at the time. But, so I had some pretty good handwriting there for a while. But now that after, you type everything on computers and stuff, every time I need to write something, it looks, people always go, "Are you a doctor?" Because I can't read a thing you wrote there. It either looks like a psychotic serial killer kidnap note, demand for payment, or a prescription for something. I don't know what. I'll tell people, if you take that to the pharmacy, they'll give you some. I don't know what, but
yeah, exactly. I got to be careful.
So are you investing in a lot of AI? Is AI a thing for you, or does it have to be kind of like, I don't know, attuned perfectly for what you like?
Yeah, as far as the companies that I'm working with.
Yeah,
I'd say big thing is, my main focus, I'd say probably 90% of the sector is like AI SaaS. So There's two things with that. Number one, it's just very, very easy to sell. If my business as a company is scaling these companies, it's like I want a product that's going to be a no-brainer for people to buy. That's going to make it very, very easy for us to market and for us to sell. And then number two is, obviously, software companies, especially with tech, is just very, very easy to buy from private equity. Those obviously have the highest multiples. So that's really why I'm focusing on it, is both it's easier to sell to other businesses, and then it's also, a hot target for, private equity and institutions to buy.
There you go. It's we have a lot of SaaS companies that come on the show. SaaS is just really big. I should be doing SaaS. In fact, nowadays there's friends that are they're building SaaS with AI. They're like, you can code a whole website with AI now. I'm gonna learn how to do because I can't code. I evidently dated too many hot women when I was younger. So and my brain doesn't function in a coding format.
Yep.
I'm just teasing the nerds. You and you guys billions of dollars in pocket protectors. So there you go. But yeah, let's talk about the other company we talked about in the green room before. There's a company that you want to promote, that you're investing in, that you tell us about it.
Yeah, so there's a company called Nova. They're launching very, very soon. So this is going to be a big thing. Obviously, it is an AI SaaS, but it plays a big thing into my personal brand, which is training sales reps. So Nova is essentially an AI role player and an AI sales trainer. So a lot of times, back in the day, when you're training sales teams, a big thing is you're going to go out and do role play. For example, Chris, if you and I were to role play, maybe you would be the prospect, I would be the sales rep, and then we're going through the script, things like that. You can give me feedback and things like that. Now we built out an AI to where we can actually just have live conversations at any time of the day. It could be, even at 2 a.m. You don't need to call up your buddy, and you can have real live role plays with this AI. Biggest thing is you can build out avatars to where essentially it's, hey, if you're selling software, this AI avatar is going to be the perfect, prospect. Or if you're selling real estate, et cetera, it works for any type of sales role. You build out an avatar, you go about your script. After the call, what it does is it gives you ratings on, 1 out of 100, how well you did. And then it also breaks down each part of the call and actually shows you, here's where you messed up on, here's where you can work on. And then it gives you a summary, gives you some notes. The second part of that is if you're actually taking live sales calls, you can upload this into Nova to where Nova's going to say, okay, here's a live sales call. Here's where you could work on. Here's where you can improve on. So every single day, you can kind of take a look at where your calls are falling flat, and then ultimately take that to the next day and crush your sales, whether you're a sales team lead, sales rep, or you're a business owner. So
there you go. It's just wild, all the stuff that's going there. Do you see a future of AI? Do you have any opinions on the vision of the future of AI in business or B2B business?
Yeah. Obviously the companies that are not utilizing AI are getting left in the dust. There's a huge market right now that I've seen with just like brick and mortar businesses. Obviously there's a huge transfer gap of boomers that are selling their companies. And I think like the institutions like private equity are seeing that gap, and ultimately they're buying these businesses from these older guys who may have not been utilizing AI, and then they're growing these businesses exponentially. So AI is a thing where it's here to stay. It's going nowhere. Also, I would say that there's obviously two coins of that. With technology, it's like when things are made useful, it's great, but also there's a second side of that where it kind of takes the human to human interaction out of that, which we've kind of seen that with social media, with there being deep fakes and things like that, which is good. But overall, for growing a business and making it more profitable, I think AI is good.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this flows into work and
Mhm.
redesigning things. I mean, we use it on the Chris Voss show to make the show notes, and sometimes it doesn't get people's names right if their names are fairly complex. The basic English, I suppose, or the AI
Right.
itself. I mean, it's just going off of what it hears. So sometimes it doesn't. The pronunciation doesn't pick up the spelling, but.
Mhm.
Other than that, it works incredibly well. It designs I mean, just within seconds, it designs a beautiful compilation and stuff, and yeah, it's wild. Hopefully, it will create enough workflow that or work, I don't know, effort or equity that people can have more time, maybe to I don't know, work a second job. Just teasing. Or a third.
Boom.
Boom. Welcome to 2026. So there you go. What did I ask you about that I should ask you about on how you do and how you apply it?
Sorry, could you ask that last part again?
What is something maybe that you want people to know that I haven't asked you about that we should let people know on how they can do business with you or work with you, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I'd say the biggest thing is, I'm very active on social media.
Mhm.
The biggest thing for me is, I kind of was in the gutters on social media for, a while. I didn't really want to be that, guru type of guy. But what I learned is, because there is a lot of BS out there, information, it's like, if you have something good to offer, you might as well go ahead and do that. So that's kind of been my main focus, just building out my personal brand for the past year, which, I got to give you applause, because content is hard.
Yeah, it really is. It
Tough.
really is. People think it's people get into podcasts and they're like, oh, it's really easy. You just get a mic and you talk into it, and it's easy as hell. And I'm just like, we have book authors from Simon & Schuster, Penguin Random House, top book authors, and a lot of them you'll see on CNN, all the top news channels. We have all the great journalists on from all the different uh, technically I come from the old world of papers, so I want to say papers.
Mhm.
Newspaper. People are like, what's that? But they'll come on and they'll be like, oh, I've been looking forward to your show all day. I've done like 20 shows today and I'm ready to claw my face off.
Wow.
You're like the best interviewer. And I don't think I'm that great, folks, so
No,
it's not
I
in
think
my
you're
head.
good.
But just the fact that they're like, thank God, you'd have no idea what I've gone through. And I've done the podcast circuit. So, and there's a lot of good people out there, but, I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, what's the future of your company? What do you see do you guys going to grow so you can become as big as BlackRock or something? Or what's the future for you guys?
Yeah. Great question. I think right now the big focus is just continually scale up.
Mhm.
It is tough, because obviously, it's easy to get shiny object syndrome when you want to go out and, work with new companies and things like that. But at least for me, it's just to continue scaling up with the portfolio that I have. Definitely providing more value as far as my personal brand, doing consulting, and then, in the long term, I would like to just be able to outright buy these companies. Kind of more like a Blackstone, private equity type deal, to where I can, buy companies and then just apply what I've been doing for, the past 10 years into
There
that.
you
So
go. There you go. So companies should reach out to you, even if maybe they don't qualify for investment, they should reach out to you for consulting help, et cetera,
Mhm.
and get involved with you there. So as we go out, anything further you want to pitch out to us or discuss with us as we go?
No, I think that's it. If you want to keep up with me, YouTube would be the main place, and then
Mhm.
Instagram.
Do you know your YouTube link off the top of your head?
So it should be youtube.com/@JohnPMag. That's my username.
John, JOHNP Mag.
Mag, MAG,
Okay.
correct.
There you go. Let me, looks like I didn't quite get it. So JOHN
Yeah, let me
P Mag.
let me put in the
Just
chat.
want to be able to put the link on the show for you.
You get that in the chat?
Here, let me check the chat here over here.
Yeah, so @John, JOHN.
Okay, there you go. You gotta have the ad in there. That's weird. I did not know that.
Right, most people don't have that in there.
Isn't mine /Chris Voss? I think it works. All right. Well, so give you subscribe over here. And I swear to God, if you go Chris Voss, mine works, right? Yeah, mine works on /Chris Voss. That's weird. It did the @ symbol for you.
Yours, I mean, you've been around a lot.
18 years. 18 years on YouTube. It's crazy.
Exactly. I gotta tell you got a lot of dedication, because I was scrolling down on your YouTube. I saw videos from 16 years ago. I'm like, damn, that's
How
stuff.
awful were they 16 years?
Oh, they were good. What's funny is you were saying stuff way before. You were saying, Twitter and the power of social media. And then I read one funny one where it said that you can get sued if you make a mean tweet to someone or something like that. It was funny.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you very much for coming on the show, John. We'll watch what you're doing over there on the big old YouTube channel and all that good stuff. Looks like you're giving people a lot of great information that they can utilize on building their funnels and conversion rates and all this sort of good stuff. So there you go. Freemium is the way to go, and that's how people, you earn trust and reputation, and people invest in you, and you invest in them because they're investing.
Exactly.
In you. There you go. See how I did that? John, give us any other places you want us to check you out online as we go out.
I'd say Instagram, same thing, at John P. Mag. Facebook at John P. Mag. And then Twitter, or X, I should call it X. It's at John P. Magnor, so full name. Didn't quite get that username, but that's essentially it. I appreciate you for having me on.
Thank you for coming. We certainly appreciate it. And boy, what a great entrepreneurial story, man. You're going to thank yourself someday you got started young. When I started young, I was like, I didn't really get it. And I did all these things, but man, now that I'm old and broken down and can't feel my legs, and, I have to have like 20 cups of coffee in the morning to wake up, enjoy, what you built in your youth. And I hope it inspires other people. I wish more parents would teach their kids to be entrepreneurs. And like a lot of young people who start entrepreneur businesses like you, they have usually some sort of foundational thing, like parents that inspire them, or maybe uncles, relatives. But setting that foundation when you're young, it just gives you this great arc through life. That's just so I just pinch myself sometimes, and I think, God, what if we never had started that company that day? What if we said, we'll do it next week? It just horrifies it horrifies me.
100%.
Some of the pace I would have taken. Anyway, thank you very much, John, for coming on the show. Thanks, John, for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, YouTube.com/Chris Voss, and Facebook.com/Chris Voss. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to the most amazing, intelligent podcast ever made to improve your brain and your life. Warning, consuming too much of the Chris Voss Show podcast can lead to people thinking you're smarter, younger, and irresistible sexy. Consume in regularly moderated amounts. Consult a doctor for any resulting brain bleed.